Project 2 RLCS 2026 Season 1 Episode 5. First things first, long time no see. My last episode was March 26th, 2026, and right now it's June 3rd, 2026. The last time we spoke was on console. I was on controller. I was spouting about my PC specs, my purpose, where my head was at, just having an intimate conversation. I honestly was supposed to upload 2 days ago, or at least that was the plan. The idea was I was gonna meet my duo partner for RLCS, introduce her, but she didn't come, so there was no introduction and no need for the upload. Yesterday was June 2nd, and for NA on the East Coast, 1 p.m. was the deadline to meet my duo partner and to be registered in order to participate in qualifiers. She never came, so we were unable to participate. A lot has changed since last time we spoke. First of all, April 25th, I switched to mouse and keyboard, and this is my current rank right now. My peak rank on mouse and keyboard is Diamond 3, Div 4. As you can see up here, this is purple because we won a few games in Champ. I hit Champion on controller, or Champ 1, and then I took a nap, woke up, immediately switched to mouse and keyboard. So, April 25th, now is now it's June. I want to say it's been about a month and a week of mouse and keyboard experience, and this is where we're at. It's been a very long road, a very, very, very long road. I don't even know where to start. There was a lot of stress, a lot of tension, a lot of doubt, a lot of potential, a lot of new ideas. I got to see different abilities shine as soon as I switched to mouse and keyboard. But who I am didn't change. How I behave didn't change. The last episode I talked about love and how I felt as if my purpose and what I wanted to do in life was to live life through love, to just use my fire, my flame to ignite, the fire and the flame, or the collective fire of the universe, to just unleash every ounce of energy and power that I have through love, and to go on about, what I enjoy doing in life: playing video games, driving cars, meeting people, spending time with women, making music, making money, just doing all of that shit, but from love. I'm here now because I've stayed true to that. It's 7:39 in the morning right now. I had to go on a walk. I had to work out. I just had to do some reflecting. Because, my last episode was in March. But the first episode, let me check, for Project RLCS was March 15th. And the first upload on this channel was March 2nd, 2026. So December 28th, I got my controller. January up into February, I was playing the game, going to work, stacking my money. February 3rd was the last day I worked a job. I left my job, was going to pursue music. I had already established all my LLCs, my business, everything. I was ready. I was like, we're going to put all this on the road. I had bought like a $250 course on setting everything up for the music industry. And I sat in my chair. My nervous system, like my body just shut down, and I just went into like a meditative state, and I had to do some very, very deep inner work. And I had to be honest with myself. I had to acknowledge my fears and what I was running away from. And at the end of it, I realized I love video games, bro. I love cars. I love soccer. I love training. As you can see, I got my calisthenics stuff back there. You can see like a glimpse of it. But I love living life. Music to me is something that I would do in the future, but it wasn't the end all be all. It wasn't where I wanted to start. So fast forward, I want to say beginning of March. I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to pursue a world championship. I started being very clear on who I wanted to attract in my life. You'll see in the previous episodes, or like in the beginning of the channel, I talked a little bit about where my head was at. I'm not sure how deep into detail I got, but yeah, I talked about what Rocket League meant to me, what I wanted to bring to it. It's honestly beautiful to see how throughout the episodes for the G to GC series, how we just changed. We grew, we developed, and we further adopted that understanding that love is what's most important, at least for me. It just keeps returning in my life throughout my failures, throughout my perceptive accomplishments. But either way, I won't even say kept me going. It just would not go away. I couldn't get away from it. March 15th, I dropped my first upload for the G to GC series towards the end of season 21 of Rocket League. I had to reach gold, or grand champ from gold 2 in 10 days. We failed, of course. We reached the diamond, I think, like a couple hours before the end of the season, and then we managed to D-rank all the way to gold. I mean, it was just an incredible series. I mean, one of those episodes, like, I got so deep onto like the philosophy of how I view life, people, and struggles, and just so much, bro. It was a journey for sure. Then throughout March, we went through our training phases. We had to record our free play, training mechanics, training fundamentals. It was a process. At the time, I was watching Naruto. I was watching Solo Leveling, so a lot of that was inspiring me on making sure I captured just the training arc for things. Then I had to recheck again. Was it March 26th? Yeah, March 26th was the last day I played console. And on March 28th, I built my PC. And then from March 28th until April 25th, I was just grinding. I mean, I was playing like 10 hours plus a day, just nonstop, just playing and playing and playing and playing. I could actually, what I'm gonna do is I'll go to my Rocket League tracker so y'all can see what I've been up to. You know, in terms of playing ranked and just what that's been about. Because I reached a point where I was dead ass peeking out of my mind. Like I was fucking incredible. There's no other way to put it. Okay. So performance. Is it performance or skill rating? Okay. So, yo, how do I zoom out? How far back does this go? This was March. Okay. So this, everything here from, I want to say March 2nd until March 29th was, hold on. This is me on console. And then March 29th, as you can see right here, this is as soon as I got my PC. This is the first day I got my PC. Or I built the PC and played the game. And I think between this interval from March 29th to March 2nd, I was only playing like, I don't even know. I think I was either just training or I just wasn't playing the game. But as you can see, from March 29th to April 1st, I literally was peeking out of my mind. I kid you not, it felt like my body was being controlled. Like every single mechanic, just reading the ball, I felt like a god. Like it was the first glimpse where I was like, holy shit, I could actually win a world championship if I'm playing like this. Like this is my growth. First day on PC, and I haven't even, actually put in time into playing at a higher level. Oh my god. But it doesn't do well to display how far we went, but we essentially, I believe, went from plat 1 all the way to diamond 2 in like 3 to 2 days. Then I honestly want to shine more light on this time right here. So April 25th, well, from the 23rd until the 29th, my coworker, his dream, his goal was to hit champ. Okay, so I made it my duty to make sure that when I hit champ, officially hit champ, not through, what do they call it? Not through, what are the first 10 matches that you do? Placement matches, not through placement matches, but through actually playing the game and hitting champ. This plateau here was literally devastating. As you can see, I'm hitting gold too. Like this time period right here is just, this was me before I even uploaded my first ever upload. So like it's missing data here because I'm pretty sure I hit diamond in the middle of that series and it's not showcasing that. But yeah, it was just this here, hell, literally hell. Just hell. This is G to GC series, all right here. This right here, this is all off camera. There's no footage of this. Zero footage. This is literally just me pouring my entire soul into the game. Ultimately, we ended up hitting champ with my friend. I was very honored to be able to accomplish that. But this very day, right, I went to sleep, I took a nap, And in my nap, like in my dream, I was having dreams of people talking to me like, yo, why are you on mouse and keyboard? And the same way in movies or in animes, how the main character will have a dream, and in their dream, it's like their subconscious is talking to them. Like you can tell it's characters that are talking to them, trying to give them a message. In my dream, the characters in my dream were telling me that mouse and keyboard is not as difficult as the public and as the Rocket League community tries to make it seem, right? Before I uploaded my first ever video, I watched Evample. I have a laptop in the closet. That was the same laptop that I used to play Rocket League on before I quit the game, like in like 2023, 2022. And I never touched mouse and keyboard ever. I think I played mouse and keyboard for like 30 seconds because my controller wasn't working and I needed to like do a kickoff or some shit when I was 1v1ing my friend. Like I had zero experience, right? I remember when I was getting back into the game and I was just watching YouTube videos. I was watching Nuupo and I was watching Zen and I was watching Beast Mode and Dark. I watched Evample. I didn't even know he was a mouse and keyboard player. And in the process of watching him, the same way you can taste food when you see it, or you can smell the food when you see it, when he would move his car, I could feel myself using mouse and keyboard. It was ridiculous. I literally knew what buttons to press, how to jump, how to boost. I knew all of the keybinds for mouse and keyboard, or the default keybinds, without ever having mouse and keyboard experience. Now, obviously, I didn't get to do anything off of this because I was on console. This is I want to say in February or January, like way back. Actually, no, I think this was even before I got my controller. So this was like December, like late December or early January. Then from there, I had a dream. And in my dream, I was peeking out of my fucking mind playing mouse and keyboard. I was just doing every possible mechanic. I was just a god on mouse and keyboard. It was a very vivid dream. But again, I was on console, so I couldn't do anything about that. I tried to pull out the laptop, and the laptop wouldn't even run Rocket League anymore. It was just completely cooked. So fast forward, April 29th, we hit champ. We hit the highest accolade in the ranks that we've ever had, and we take it to the chin and say, you know what, we're gonna do mouse and keyboard. I go into free play. Immediately, everything feels intuitive. A few binds like my air roll, my camera, just a few things needed to be changed, but I was doing speed flips. I was doing every possible flip cancel. Those few glimpses where I would hit a reset here and there, obviously I couldn't score off it, but this was in the first 2 hours of playing mouse and keyboard. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So within the first day, I was doing training packs and I was learning how to air dribble. I was learning how to do ground to air dribble. But I was ass. I was completely inconsistent, but there was too much potential. Like, you would think I would get on there and I couldn't do anything, but that was not the case. I was on there, and when I went on 1v1s, I'll show you right here. Look at this. Gold. I started mouse and keyboard April. So this is me grinding 1v1s when I was on controller, right? As soon as I hopped on mouse and keyboard, you see how it says April 24th? April 25th, mind you, was the last time or the first time I played mouse and keyboard. I'm going to show you the videos, but essentially I hopped on 1v1s so I could learn how to do kickoffs and so I can actually learn my binds under pressure, like in a game scene. Straight from Plat 2, where I was playing against Smurfs, or individuals who are higher ranked in 2s and 3s, but were like really low ranked in 1v1s and gang. I hit silver 2 in 4 days. I went from Plat 2 Div 4, Plat 2 Div 1. Oh, that's how you zoom in. But essentially, as I hit silver, right? Then later on, I went back to playing, and we climbed back up, and then I stopped playing once. But this is what it looked like. So essentially, this is this is me, mouse and keyboard, first ever game. This is me after 2 hours. I just realized, yo, I have so much potential, but I need to learn my binds. Off instinct and intuition, I was a god. But when it came to like now putting that to the unconscious, I was completely ass. But here I am thinking like, yo, I'm playing against Waddles. Let's just skip through this shit. If you're him, that's crazy because I just switched to KVM today. All right, let's see what I do. Now, mind you, this is after 2 hours of experience. So, you know, as you can see, it's the little stuff. Like saving this, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory, but as soon as now like I need to get the ball off of the wall, I'm hitting my camera. So here, I didn't change my binds yet, but my jump was on my mouse. Every other game I play, jump is either on scroll wheel or spacebar. So spacebar is the default for camera. So that's what I mean by unconsciously. I didn't have my binds completely mastered because I'd mix it up with different mouse and keyboard games. Now to add context, since a child, I started on Xbox. Well, I started on PlayStation, then I moved to Xbox. And then since I was 11 years old, I started playing laptop and Xbox back and forth. Since 2020, so COVID, I grinded PC. Well, not PC, but laptop. I was completely playing Fortnite all the time. I was playing Roblox, Phantom Forces, shout out Phantom Forces, all the time. When I was 11, so throughout middle school, just grinding Phantom Forces, just playing Roblox, literally just Phantom Forces and shooter games on Roblox on mouse and keyboard. So I have a lot of enjoyment and love and passion for mouse and keyboard. However, Rocket League, and I want to say the fact that I took a huge gap, playing car games on mouse and keyboard is very difficult. If you played Forza or anything else, when it comes to turning your car or directional inputs, mouse and keyboard is difficult because it's very specific turns. So, you know, think of it as you go forward, you go left, you go right. With the controller, there's like, you can go forward, then you can go forward a few angles to the left. This is just more versatility. So taking that into consideration, learning the game or feeling my way through the game, again, intuitively was so easy. It was the easiest thing in the world. But actually understanding my binds and putting it into play, like, look at that. I just did a zap dash off the wall on my first ever game, my first ever official game. Like, bro, that it's just little things. So I'm like, yo, I have so much potential. Like, I can really lock in with this shit, right? Let's see. I mean, this dude was just, like, he just shitted on me, bro. Like, just point blank, he just shitted on me. I mean, did I even score a goal? No. No, I did not score a goal. What was that? Okay. Some gold level defense. I mean, we're doing half flips. after 2 hours of mouse and keyboard experience, bro. Now, don't get me wrong, experience is like that shit will never go away. I've had my account since 2018. So just experience and understanding that's never an issue. The biggest hurdle was mastering my binds. If I could master my binds, then from there, it was easy. It was light work. I had just hit champ on controller. I had just seen that I had so much mechanical creativity as far as for what I believed was possible. And then on top of that, how I played the game and where my decisions were being stemmed from and sourced from, bro, there was so much potential for me. But to go in and to do a kickoff and end up on the fucking left wall, it's like, bro, what am I supposed to do about that shit? I mean, that was a good attempt at an aerial, but for the most part, it was a journey, bro. It was a fucking journey. As of recently, as of late, as I said before, I was just grinding, bro. Just grinding. Like, I had no choice but to do that. It was completely out of my control. The same woman I talked about meeting in the G2GC series is the same woman I wanted to meet for the project RLCS as my duo partner. I believe in let's say potentiality and abundance. So I know her name, I know what she looks like, I know her ethnicity, I know her characteristics. Like, all of that shit is baked into my brain. Since the day I wrote it down, nothing on that list has changed. And I established these things before I even started the G2GC series. So, to me, that woman is like my partner. I didn't see her as like a girlfriend or like somebody I can crush on, or none of that. It was more so, there are things I want to do in every single game I play, but I want to do it with her. I want her to be my partner by my side. Right now, for my playstyle, I've been training dashes. I had another one of those episodes. A very big thing on me is I play off of intuition and instinct because I stem everything from love. So I'll mess up, I'll fail a lot, and I'll fuck up. But point being, there's shit that I can do where I'm like, yo, if I have a teammate and a partner who's just as free spirited as I am and understands and embraces the way I like to play games and live life, like, there's nothing else I can add on to that. Like, nothing can compare to that. I've been in isolation and solitude since 2023. Since I graduated, I'd even say late into 2022. But no, I've just been by myself most of the time, just working on myself, just a lot of independence, a lot of internal work. And I think it was necessary. I wouldn't be here now if I didn't have such levels of isolation. I reached a point where I feel like isolation to me is like training, where in the game, you're isolated with the field, the entire game itself. But when you're in free play, again, in terms of Rocket League, or you're doing a training pack, you isolate on, let's say, your boost management, or how you control your car in the air, or a specific aerial, or just where you hit the ball. You get to just take everything else in the game, put it to the background, and to pour all your energy and love into just embracing that one specific aspect of the game. So for me, that solitude, that isolation that I've been through, and she still hasn't come, so technically I'm still having that sense of self-isolation as well. But It's just to embrace and to pour love into, the specific aspect of this moment right now. Me recording, me talking to y'all, me embracing the journey. I don't seem like an individual who just dedicated 6 months of his entire life. Wait, how do I put that? 6 months of this entire year, right? For this one moment that occurred 2 days ago, just for it to never come to fruition. I don't appear like an individual who has seen himself do chained dashes on the floor and has moved his car in ways I've never seen a single soul who's ever touched this game move their car in their life. The same individual who has hit the craziest, most insane resets I've never seen in my entire life. And yet, I can go in game and whiff an aerial. I can go in game and go and play 10 games and lose 7 of them and win 3. The same individual who will achieve a new sense of growth and immediately want to focus on something else because that's just where my heart wants to be. On paper, I'm a failure. I'm a fucking loser. I'm 21. I have like $2 in my bank account. I've spent the last 6 months dedicating myself to a few different challenges. One being gold to GC, failed that. Meeting a partner, failed that in the GDGC series. Meeting a partner and being able to play in the qualifiers and go to Paris in September, failed that. To hit champ and carry my friend on mouse and keyboard after a month of playing the game, failed that. It's just constantly walking, following the light, being led towards a door, seeing the potential that door has to offer, and then watching it close. That's been my life. However, to me, I'm not walking this path because of the light that's being offered from the doorways that are opening to me. My light comes from me, from within. I look at a doorway and I believe I step into that room, see the light that it has to offer, but I'm going there knowing that my light is, 1, it comes from the same place, and 2, it can't be affected. It just cannot be affected. Because on the journey of making it to that doorway that has this beautiful, illuminates light, it's dark. The path is very, very dark. To me, I believe these past 6 months, and honestly these past 3 years, has been me I'd say my entire life has been me recognizing that I'm choosing to shine my light regardless of whether or not I'm surrounded by light or if it's completely dark. It does not make a difference. And that attitude, that demeanor, just that way of life, to me, is exactly why I want this girl in my life. To me, she is an extension of my soul, an extension of that flame. And she's like her own universe. And having that along by my side as I do the things that I want to do in life, there's nothing else that I want more than that. Literally nothing else. Even when it came to training in the championship, I wasn't thinking about losing. I wasn't, like, mind you, I'm Diamond 2, right? And I'm the same individual talking about playing qualifiers, but I'm going to be playing against Season 1 SSL players, like people who've been SSL. Bro, Daniel is an NA player, so I'd have to beat, in order to go to Paris, I would have to beat Beast Mode and Daniel, who are the 2025 world champions. And Daniel is the first ever SSL in this entire game. These are the type of individuals I would have to play against. And yet, in my mind, I'm focused on yo, how much do I love this girl? How much energy and love would I want to pour into this game with her by my side? How creative would I want to be in just the way I hit the ball, the way I carry the ball, the way I dash around the field, the way I use my dashes to create resets and do just crazy shit. And that's just where I am. And I'm not going to say that's where I was, because then I'd be lying. At the end of the day, if I truly, even if I had to quit, even if I was forced to quit, like, I can't. I literally cannot. I just, in my soul, in my brain, I spent the past 4 days when I was trying to see when the fuck she was gonna arrive. I couldn't sleep, bro. I'll sleep for 2 hours, wake up, sleep another 2 hours, wake up, sleep another 2 hours, wake up. I just I cannot bear the thought of having all of this energy and peaking energetically in ways I've never felt before, and yet feel like I'm not accomplishing anything. And one of the hardest parts about Rocket League, especially in this rank right here, is you're in a space where you have so much potential, but the growth is so minuscule. So you feel like nothing is changing. My life as of recently just feels like nothing is changing. It just feels like every little change is so minuscule compared to my vision on what I want to achieve, that it's damn near like a particle compared to the whole scope, the whole picture. If you were to put yourself in my shoes, I'm like a god trying to create a whole new universe, and right now the only changes that are happening on an atomic level, on a particle level. You can't see that shit. It just doesn't exist. But it still is change. It's still a part of the process. It still adds on to the art. You know, my name is Arts. I created that name, from my Fortnite clan. I wanted a sweaty 4-letter name. My real name is Arthur, and it fits so beautifully. From my philosophy, how I view life, how I live life, it pans so well. And the channel name, my artist name, Arts Expression, you start to look back like, damn, there's damn near signs, bro. There's little details where things feel like nothing is changing, where things feel like I'm failing, where things feel like I'm just delusional, like I'm gonna waste my life, I'm gonna die a fucking virgin, I'm gonna die not having achieved any of my goals, any of my dreams, and like feel like it was all for waste. I think it's much easier to recognize that you're not capable of doing something and to just live with that than it is to recognize that you are fully equipped to achieve something and yet not achieve it. That shit is like, it's like, what the fuck do you do? And the only thing that has kept me grounded is the same thing that I dedicate myself towards, and it's love. And in my darkest times, in my darkest place, when I had to acknowledge and embrace my fears and what I was terrified of, my resentment, my hatred, a lot of suppressive energy, love was the cure for all of it. That was all I was doing, was just sitting with it and embracing it. And I'm like, yo, this was the first time I had a glimpse of how capable love is and how powerful it is. And when I took that into consideration, to me, meditating and going into my mind and feeling nothing, and then all of a sudden feeling crazy amounts of fear, and then all of a sudden feeling this warmth, this crazy amount of love I've never seen in my life. It felt like a star being born out of nothingness. It felt like the universe just spawning in out of nothingness, where it completely defied the laws of what nothingness is, where it's existing potentiality, what life is as we know it, should not be possible. And, even as I was going on this walk, I asked myself, like, what do I do now? I know for a fact I'd rather die than get a job. I'd rather die than to walk away from love. And I'd rather die than to just be complacent. My soul, like, I cannot bear it. I have to embrace and accept the fact that my life is not normal. I have information and wisdom that just spawns in me. The same way you have an idea, you feel inspiration, is the same way I can feel sensations travel through my body when I'm using the keyboard and controlling my car, and I go from not being able to do a mechanic to instantly doing it in 2 minutes. And then obviously an hour later, I'm never able to do that shit again consistently. But those little glimpses of possibility, it keeps me going. It just reminds me, like, yo, remember, this life as we know it spawned out of emptiness. This change that happened within me spawned from the same nihilistic emptiness, nothing matters as personality and scope. And it just completely changed. I watched a star be born. And nothing in life can take away from that. Every anime, every show I watch, every movie I watch, there's very specific stories that align with me, and it keeps reminding me that I'm a fucking, to me, I am love. I am the universe, I am God, I am y'all, I am the people, I am the car, I am Rocket League. It's crazy, bro. These past few days, when I control the car, I'm no longer thinking about my keybinds. I can feel the car. I can literally feel the wheels hitting the car. Like, again, I'm not normal, bro. This, from an energetic standpoint, how would I put this? The same way you have intuition and you can step into a room and sense someone's intent without them ever speaking or opening their mouth, is the same way energetically I can feel the weight of my car. The same way you can play Forza or play a driving game and you can feel the weight of the car. You start to take the same way our physical body has, understood gravity and understood how the physical world works and adopted like an idea on what's realistic and what's not, is the same way I immerse myself into the game and I can feel the weight of the car. It's the same way I can feel the same, if I was driving a car, I can feel my tire being flat, right? So in this case, I can feel myself in the driver's seat, but obviously, nigga, I'm in the chair controlling this shit from a mouse and keyboard. But it's immersion. It's being involved. The same way you can be immersed and involved with another person, and you can feel empathy and their emotions without them speaking. Again, I'm not going to say I'm not normal, because to be honest, I feel like the normality is pushing away the magic that the world has to offer. Instead of me saying I'm not normal, let's say I am life. I am life when you look at it through the lens of love and you actually embrace how magical life is. I was not able to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish in terms of playing in the World Championship. However, to me, that was a bridge. It was a stepping stone, and it was a starting point. At the end of the day, how I play the game, what I want to bring to the game, and what I wanted to bring to this world, none of that changes. I took a shower, and I said, what is it that I can do that no one else can do? And it's be me. No one else can be me the way that I am. No one else can. No one else can choose to use the power that I have to pour love into life, regardless of what state it's in, regardless of where I am, regardless of whether I've accomplished something or if I've failed something through perception. No matter what. Nobody has control over how I choose to feel about life and observing it and embracing it and pouring into it other than me. And with that in mind, moving forward, you know, I love video games. I love driving cars. I'm in the works. I'm talking with my mom and seeing how I can get a sim setup so I can start driving and drifting and racing. I love cars. I'm literally addicted to cars. In the future, like, I could see myself genuinely being in a car community and having an entire world set up over there when, if I go to Japan, if just honestly anywhere, literally anywhere, just feeling like I damn near attract that shit. Maybe even attending a few events, just like pushing limitations, just accomplishing shit. To me, if you look at the channel, it's genuinely how I feel about life. My mother asked me, okay, so you want to move to England. You want to live in England. However, how are you going to make a living? How are you going to survive? And I'm like, I don't know how to answer that question because I'm not living to survive. I'm living life. I'm not surviving. I'm living. So from that, I'm making an earning living my life. And with that in mind, I had to ask myself, what is it that I can do to put myself in that position and make that a possibility? And it's to live my life. Then the next step is, well, what is it about that would make people want to invest energy into you and put you in a position where you can be monetized, to attract funds, to attract money? And I say, well, skip all of that. Why am I doing this? Why do I want to live life? Why do I choose living over survival? What is it that is different between the two that's causing me to choose one over the other? And it's love. To me, survival is fear. To me, survival is love when it's placed in a box and it's choosing to preserve oneself, to love oneself. To me, living is to love beyond oneself. I look at the camera, I look at this game, I look at myself, and I embrace with full humility. I am delusional. I am ambitious, and I want to be able to set up my sim setup, press record or stream, and to just have fun. And then to wake up on the 15th of the month and just have a fat ass paycheck in my account. I want to be able to just show up, get invited to a charity match, meet people, and turns out these people are people that I spend the rest of my life with. To be able to walk into a room and empower individuals and then never see them again and know that the impact I made was far more valuable than, having possession over their time. I don't have to be in places for a long time or be praised. I just want to pour love, bro. That's it. To me, money is just a resource. So, obviously, like, there's things I want to do, but they require money. Like, there's games I want to play. There's games that y'all are going to want me to play, but that shit costs money. I already finished 007, like, watching it. I watched Agent play that shit, but I'm like, damn, there are people out there who are living the life I want to live, who are already doing what I want to do. So it's not like that shit isn't possible, but to be completely honest, I just don't give a fuck about the hows or the whys or the what it takes. I just don't give a fuck, bro. I already know what I want and how I'd want to do it, so I just want to live that way. It's pretty much that simple. My mind, my soul, my heart is too far deep into creativity and viewing love through that lens, or viewing life through that lens, that bro, I can't turn back. I literally can't. My past few dreams, I've been fighting. I was literally like, I've been doing 1v4s, and I'm putting belt, right, and they're like shooting me. I'm like dodging, like I'm taking all of these survival moments, and I'm dead ass being creative in the zone, like having fun fighting niggas. And I remember I like smashed the nigga's jaw in, right? And like I paused and I felt bad. I'm like, damn, that shit felt wrong. Like I don't want to hurt you, bro. Like stop, bro. Like I would love to fight. Like I love combat. Like I love to fight, but I don't want to fight you to kill you. I don't want to hurt you, gang. Like what the fuck is this about? So I was thinking about that, and I'm like, damn, bro, it's how I feel about life. Like when pressure is applied on me in terms of life, when I feel like shit is getting heavy, when events are occurring, like I don't want to destroy what's difficult. I don't want to pour hatred into, you know, what's annoying, or like I don't want to get mad, and I just don't want to take that route. It's just not me, gang. It's just not me. You know, I could go on and on and on, but moving forward, we'll just have to see what we do next. I'm gonna drop my Twitch in the description, so y'all can follow me there and stay in touch. And then I'll put it in the bio for my YouTube channel. But I think moving forward, be prepared for diversity. Be prepared for intimacy and getting to experience me and seeing all of these words in action. There's those of you who can tell just by watching my previous videos and seeing where I'm at, and just seeing the way I articulate myself. You can tell like there's experience behind these words. For those of you who, you know, may not have the highest comprehension skills, it's okay. I'll make sure that it's very point blank in front of your face. You know, some of you need to see it to believe it, so I'll make sure you see it for sure. I really enjoy streaming, so we'll get back into that. See how we want to approach that. I've been playing so much fucking Rocket League every single day, so I have to see how I want to approach that. Either way, I know that for at least this week, I want to focus on my physical. I've been grinding so fucking much. Even my skin was getting chalked. Like, bro, I was a gamer. I was a real life gamer. But I don't know. If there's any updates, you already know me. I'll make a video, post where my head is at. But as always, keep creating and focus on love.